Now, the victims of the Bali bombings were offended when a member of the Chaser team interrupted a memorial near Parliament House yesterday. Now, Claire Marsh had been in tears and was being led away from a press conference being held by the opposition leader, Tony Abbott.
Craig Reucassel then approached Mr Abbott to ask questions about freedom of speech. Let's take a look at what happened.
You said that without causing offence you do not have free speech. Do you agree that we should be able to do that?
Do I have to say that you're upsetting me?
I'll speak to you later. Would you like to speak to me afterwards, Tony?
Yes, Craig Reucassel there. Possibly his timing was a bit off there, trying to get a response from the opposition leader, Tony Abbott, on free speech. Claire Marsh clearly in distress. She, in fact, was one of the many nurses who helped victims of the Bali bombing. This is what happened beforehand, and Karina, the Chaser team has put out a statement putting their side of the story.
Craig Reucassel has issued a statement saying that before this press conference took place, he had spoken to Tony Abbott's media advisor. He had agreed not to interrupt the press conference at all. He said that even once questions had turned away from the issue at hand to other issues, he still didn't interrupt the press conference. He waited until Tony Abbott was walking away back to Parliament House before he approached him. He says as soon as Claire Marsh expressed discomfort, he walked away. He said the timing of his approach to Mr Abbott was intended to separate his interaction from the event at the Bali Memorial. No disrespect was intended to Bali victims or anyone present, and Craig apologises for any offence or distress caused.
And there we see that critical final line from Craig Reucassel's statement. Yeah, it's a time and a place for everything, really, and I suppose if Craig had his time again, he probably wouldn't have pursued Tony Abbott. Claire Marsh was clearly in distress. In fact, it was an unedifying day all round yesterday surrounding that media conference. Nicola Roxon, the Attorney-General, held a media conference where she slammed Tony Abbott for, in her words, being uncouth for holding that media conference near the Bali Memorial. She said effectively that Tony Abbott was politicising that event. The 10th anniversary of the bombing, of course, is fast approaching, and that was compounded in many people's eyes by what we saw happen there, that interaction, that very brief, albeit very brief interaction between Tony Abbott and Craig Reucassel.